In this lecture, we'll discuss the applications of anharmonic oscillator, and then we'll move on to the questions which have come previously in NET, GATE, TIFR and IIT JAM from anharmonic oscillator part of the vibration spectroscopy. So what formula we had got for the energy levels? We had seen that the energy of an anharmonic oscillator can be represented by this formula, where this is your frequency and this is your in wave numbers, and this is your anharmonicity constant, right? Okay. At the same time, the energy for two consecutive energy levels was depending on what kind of transition is occurring, whether it's fundamental transition or first overtone or second overtone, or even case of hot bands, we will get a certain formula. So now, what quantities do you want to find when you are when you have the anharmonic oscillator? So the first is anharmonicity constant. This is this. Now suppose you are given the frequencies delta E. Okay, you have been given the, I mean, in a curve, in a IR plot, you will find peaks which are actually delta E, right? Let's say this is for 0 to 1, that is fundamental transition, and this is for 0 to 2, or the first overtone. So depending on that, let's say this is 0 to 1, you would get mu E 1 minus 2xe, and then you will get delta E 0 to 2, 2 mu E 1 minus 3xe. Now consider you have some numerical values in these two places, delta E and delta E. You can consider these to be like two linear equations in two variables, and you can solve them either by substitution, elimination, or by cross multiplication to get the values of mu E and xe, and hence you can find the value of anharmonicity constant from here. There are some questions, we'll see that. This is one major application. Second is to find the dissociation energy. Now if you remember, the plot looked something like this, wherein this is your 0 point energy, this is the depth of the potential well, and this is the dissociation energy that is needed in order to break the bond. And we had seen that depth of potential energy well is equals to dissociation energy plus the 0 point energy. So how can you find this dE? For that, we need Vmax, or the maximum vibrational quantum number the molecule can have, or the maximum vibrational energy level the molecule can go to. So for that, we know if we do a first derivative of this equation, in order to get V maximum, this should equate to 0. The first derivative of this equation should equate to 0. So that means we want to be equals to 0. So that would mean if I do the derivative, I would get mu bar minus 2 V plus half mu bar xe. Now this is equals to 0. This would mean these get cancelled, and I will get is equals to V. Now this V is the Vmax. Now if you put this Vmax value in this equation, then I should get Emax. So that means my Emax will be minus half and plus half get cancelled. We have 1 by 2 xe mu bar minus, again minus half plus half get cancelled. We have 1 by 4 xe square because it is whole square mu bar xe. So these get cancelled. We are left with mu E by 2 xe minus not E, mu bar by 2 xe, mu bar by 4 xe. This should equate to mu bar by 4 xe. And this is your Emax. Now this Emax is from the 0, not from the 0 point energy, from the zero energy value, or from the lowest point of this curve. So that means this is your DE. So if this is your DE and you need to find D naught, that would simply mean D naught equals to DE minus 0 point energy. So using this and this, we can find the dissociation energy that is needed for a molecule to break. Okay, now we can start the questions that we have. The first question we have is from December 2011. And the question says, the vibrational energy levels V double dash equals to 0 and V dash equals to 1 of a diatomic molecule are separated by 2143 centimeter inverse. Now, when they're saying they are separated by, that means they are giving you delta E 0 to 1. Right? Now, they are saying its anharmonicity constant such that this is mu EXE is equals to 14. And they've asked you to find the value of mu E and the first overtone, delta E for 0 to 2. So you have to find these two things. Now, if you take a look at the formula for this is 0 to 1, that means fundamental, that means 1 minus 2xe, that this would simply be mu minus 2xe mu bar, and I have 2143, and this is given as 14, so this becomes 28. So 2143 plus 28 is 2171, that is equals to mu bar. So we have got this value. Now we need the same delta E 0 to 2, that was what? 2 mu E 1 minus 3xe. So this would give us 2 mu E minus C mu E xe. If this is 14, so this would be 2 into 2171 from here, minus 6 into 14. So this is 2434. 6 14 is 84. And if you subtract this, you should get 4258, if I am not wrong. Yeah, and that is given in your option number D. Okay, a pretty easy question. We just have some calculation to do. The next question we have is from December 12th. And the question says, the vibrational frequency and anharmonicity constant of an alkali halide. So that means they have given you mu bar to be 300 and xe to be 0.0025. Okay. Now they're saying the position of the fundamental and the first overtone. Okay. So that means you need 0 to 1, which is mu E 1 minus 2xe. So I would suggest solve, let's say this is bracket open, mu E minus 2xe mu E. So that would be 300 minus 2 into 0. This would mean 2 into 0.0025 into 300. This would mean 0.005 into 300. That means 0.15. Let's say, or 1.5. 1.5. So that means this is 1.5. This is 298.5. This is for the fundamental. Now, if we are finding the same for first overtone, that would be I have directly written the formula from this to this here. So that is 600 minus 6 into 600 into 0.0025. Let's say I'm converting this to 1 by 4 into 10 power minus 2. If you solve this, it will turn out like 1 by 4 is what? 0.25 into 10 power minus 2 is 0.0025 for simplicity. So this would mean 3, 2, 300, that means 900, and 10 power minus 2 would give me 9, so that would be 591, which is, okay, I think I made some mistake. 298.5 is correct, but this part I have done something wrong. 2xc minus 6xc, okay, 0.0025. Yeah, the mistake is I should have taken 300 here. Okay, so this is 300, then this will be 4.5, this will be 495.5, which is given in your option number B. Okay, so the next question we have from NET. Okay, I think that's all the questions we have from NET, at least. Okay, then we have questions from GATE. Yeah, so this question came from GATE 2008. Okay, now they're saying the infrared spectrum of a diatomic molecule exhibits transitions at 2144, 4262 and 6354. This is for 0 to 1, this is for 0 to 2, and this is for 0 to 3. Fundamental first overtone and the second, from the ground state to the first, second, and third excited state. Okay. The fundamental transitions of the diatomic molecule is at. Okay. So that means this would be mu e 1 minus 2xc. This is mu e 1 minus 2 mu e 1 minus 3xc, 3 mu e 1 minus 4xc. Okay. Now when they are saying you have to find the fundamental transition, they want this actually. In this question, this was what was required. I understand this is the fundamental transition, but they are asking for the value of the frequency of the vibration. Okay, so we can solve these two. Let's say we have 2144 is equals to mu e minus 2 mu e xc. I'm multiplying this by 2, so I should get 4288, 2 mu e minus 4 mu e xc, and this one I will have 4262 is equals to 2 mu e 6 mu e xc. Subtract the 2, these get cancelled. I have 26 here and I have 2 mu e xc here, or mu e xc is 13. Okay, now I can simply put that value in this equation. So I would get 2144 is equals to mu e minus 26, 2 times of 13. So that means that would mean mu e is equals to 2170. That is given in your option number B. This question had a second part. I assume it would be better here. The second part says the anharmonicity constant of the diatomic molecule. Now, if you have mu e xc to be 13, wherein you have xc is equals to 13 by 2170, whatever is the value, which should come to be 0.006, option number C. So the next question we have is from TIFR 2013. And the question says, shown below in solid line is the harmonic potential of a quantum oscillator for a diatomic molecule. If the harmonic potential is suddenly transformed into Morse potential shown in the dashed line, how would the 0 point energy and the shape of the wave function change? So if you look at the figure, the solid line is the simple harmonic potential, that is for the simple harmonic oscillator, and the dashed line or the dotted line is for the anharmonic oscillator or Morse potential. And which of the following statements will be true? 0 point energy remains the same and wave function do not change. Now, we had seen that the energy in anharmonic oscillators is given by V plus half mu bar minus V plus half square mu bar xc. So even if I put 0, I will get some decrease in the energy of the 0 point energy true. So that means this statement is wrong. Second statement also says 0 point energy remains the same. So that means this is also wrong. 0 point energy changes and the wave function reflect a change on the high Q side. Now wave functions do not change because wave functions are the identity of the system. If the wave function is changing, the entire system is going to change. So wave function is not going to change if you change from simple harmonic oscillator to Morse potential. The last option, potentials never reflect any change in the shape of the wave function, which is true. So wave function is not going to change, and the correct answer is option number D. The next question we have is from TI for 2015, and it says, which of the following statements are true? For a harmonic oscillator potential, the spacing between adjacent energy levels remain constant with increasing quantum number, which is true, that we had seen delta E is equals to h nu. Second statement is, for a Morse oscillator potential, the spacing between adjacent energy level increases with increasing vibrational quantum number, which is not true. We had seen that the energy levels come close. That means the difference goes on decreasing as the vibrational quantum number increases. So that means that is wrong. Third statement is, harmonic oscillators are used to explain bond dissociation. Now harmonic oscillator looks something like this. No matter how much you increase the distance, the bond is never going to break. So that means you cannot show bond dissociation using simple harmonic oscillator. And the last statement is, Morse oscillators can be used to explain vibration of molecule, which is true. So the correct answer is option number B, which says 1 and 4. The next question we have is from TI for 2017. The question says, isotopic substitution is often used procedure in assigning vibrational spectroscopic features, but the difference in isotopic masses of the vibrating atoms has to be sufficiently large to make the vibrational shift observable. Fine. In a double isotopic replacement experiment, a proline with C13O18. That means both carbon and oxygen has been changed with their isotopes, is inserted in the middle of polypeptide chain using molecular recombinant techniques. Given that in the naturally found proline you have C12O16 whose frequency is 1711 centimeter inverse, what is the shift of the carbonyl stretching frequency? So you have to find this and you have to find the difference between the two to know the shift. Now we know mu bar by mu dashed iso is mu iso by mu the normal product. So that means you have to take the reduced masses. If you want to find mu iso, this would mean 1711 multiplied by under root mu CO 1618 by mu CO 1318. So this would mean 16 into 18 by, sorry, this should be 12. 12 into 18 by, sorry, this should be 16. 28 by 13 into 18 by 31. And this should be 16. If you solve this, you will get some answer, and when you subtract 1711 from that, you should get somewhere close to 80, which is given in your option number A. So I think that's all the questions from TIFR. We have few questions from IIT JAM, starting from JAM 2020. The force constant for HCl and DCl are same and both can be considered as harmonic oscillators. Okay, HCl has fundamental vibration as, so this is given as 2886 centimeter inverse. Now you are asked ratio of 0 point energy of HCl and DCl. Now 0 point energy is half mu bar, half h nu is replaced by mu bar, so it's this. Now we know mu bar is 1 by 2 pi under root k by mu. So whether I take 0 point energy of HCl by 0 point energy of DCl is going to be an inverse relation. That means mu DCl by mu HCl. And this is what? This is 2 into 35.5 by 37.5. 1 into 35.5 by 36.5. If you solve this, you should get somewhere close to 1.395. Now, this is approximately equals to root 2 1.414. So even without solving properly, you can say that the answer is supposed to be 1.395 if you are given the options. The next is from JAM 2018. The question says for the H2 molecule, fundamental vibrational frequency is 4400. The 0 point energy of the molecule, and you have to find the 0 point energy. Now it could simply be half. Now 0 point energy is asked in kilojoule per mole, so it has to be Hc mu bar in order to get in joules. H is joule second, C is meter per second, and sorry, let's say centimeter per second, and this is centimeter inverse. So these are cancelled, you're left with this. If you solve this, you should get some value. I don't know, just try to put it in. Yeah, so whatever is the value should be the answer. Okay, so I think that's all the questions we have from anharmonic oscillator. You see very simple questions from just 1 or 2 formulas for anharmonic oscillator has come. Not much is to be done in this case. By this we complete the part of pure vibrational spectra. In the next lecture, we'll be discussing the case for polyatomic molecules for pure vibrational spectra. That is the last part, and then we'll move on to combinations of rotation and vibrational spectra.